Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. For those of you that are new here, thank you for joining me. I hope that you enjoy the videos and the content to come. If you want to get to know more about who I am as an individual, you can buy a copy of my book if you like. It's Path of an Eagle, How to Overcome and Lead After Being Knocked Down. Links are available in the show description if you like. I love the cover. I made it a very easy read for people. And I made it enjoyable. There's lots of stories in there of how you can overcome and lead the very best life possible. Now, on to today's topic. Today, we're going to be talking about a transgender woman, biological man, they decided to get a vaginoplasty, which means that the person had their penis cut off or inverted, I should say. And really, a disgusting surgery took place after that. And it really transformed the individual's penis into a wound, an open wound that if you don't dilate it every single day, you could be in a lot of trouble because then it will heal up. And if it starts healing up, you're going to get a really, really bad smell. You can even get a bad smell before it starts healing up, I'll have you know. And I know people have commented on some of my videos about this and said, oh, that hasn't happened to me. I'm in a good position. I love my surgery. I don't regret it yet. That's all they've been commenting about. But this particular person seems to have a problem with this person's vaginoplasty that they got. And it doesn't look like it's going to end really well for this person. So obviously the logical thing that you want to do is head over to Reddit and ask people on Reddit for advice on something foolish that you decided to do. That being cutting off your penis and putting a wound there instead. But you know what? The lie of the transgender narrative is that you must do that in order for you to feel whole and complete again. So yes, somehow that works for people. I don't know how, but you can literally convince yourself of almost anything nowadays, even if it is so dumb and so foolish that it's going to ruin your life and going to destroy your life. But hey, don't let me tell you otherwise. Don't let me tell you the reality and the truth of this sort of stuff. But they want to do this sort of stuff to kids, believe it or not. They can't actually consent to this madness. Now, Hazel Appleyard posted about this, and I just had to make a video on it because this kind of stuff needs to be shared. It needs to be told that there are people out there that have these kinds of surgeries, and then there's regret not long after it. They end up in a world of hurt. I've had several conversations with people that have done this sort of stuff to themselves, and there's been nothing but heartache and heartbreak, I should say, as well, because they believed a lie. They went through with the delusion that they could change sex. They went through with irreversible surgery, and they caused a great deal of harm to themselves. And now they've got this instant regret. Well, it was instant for them. Didn't take too long for some other people to have regret and shame that comes along with it. So let's get into this story, which I will warn you, it is quite horrific, if you ask me. But that's what these people do to themselves. They do this butchery and this madness to themselves. And you're thinking, how can this be so heavily popularized and pushed as the mainstream narrative? I don't get it. And doctors that do this to individuals as well, I don't get it either, but they're getting a great deal of money for doing it too. I had a colon vaginoplasty last year, meaning they take a little bit of your colon and they try and form it into that looking like a female vagina, but it doesn't. It's a wound. That's all it is. They're taking something from your stomach, colon, and they try and form it and make it into, yeah, you guys get the picture. If you've seen any of the images of this, it's not pretty at all. And although there have been spells where I've had some discharge, that smelly, brown stuff that comes out, which is disgusting, it's mostly not an issue. over the last week, I've had a lot of discharge and it's literally brown and smells just like poop. Yuck. But this person decided to have this sort of surgery done to them. And now they're paying the consequences. I guarantee you this person wouldn't have had to deal with this if they didn't go through with the surgery. But no, in order for you to feel like you're whole and you're fully complete, you need to cut off a healthy body part that was given to you at birth, given to you really at conception, when your sex was determined. You're either going to be male with a penis or female with a vagina. People have actually noticed the smell. Poor people. And I've had to play along that it isn't me. How do you go about doing that? Exactly. I wonder. So if you're next to somebody and there's no one else around you and that person next to you is smelling something that is really vile, is that you? No, it's not me. Can't be me. Why would it be me? Honestly, I did have unprotected sex recently, although there was no ejaculation. So I'm looking into STI tests to rule this out. Can this be a thing with colon vaginoplasty? I hate to break it to you, mate, but yes, if you weren't told that this is the case, then again, the doctors lied to you. They didn't tell you the full truth of what can actually take place if you go through with something as horrific as this. Any advice on how to get rid of this? Could this be a fistula? I'm absolutely out of my mind with grief. I'm devastated. I wanted this surgery all my life, and I feel like it could have, well, gone completely wrong. It has gone completely wrong. You shouldn't be getting any kind of discharge at all. I'm not a doctor, but I know that stuff coming out of either your anus that's not poo, like if it's blood or something else, it shouldn't be coming out there. You're in a lot of trouble. And if something's coming out of your penis that's not sperm or wee, you're in a lot of trouble, mate. And I know that I'm being rather graphic here, but that is just the reality of the human body and of life. So yes, I had to point that out and say to people, if you've got something coming out that's not any of those things I mentioned before, you could be in a lot of trouble. But for you, because you cut off your penis and you had a colon inserted and reconstructed to make it look like it's a vagina, but it's now a wound, and you got this stuff coming out, you're in a lot of trouble. I'm just saying, you may want to go see a doctor and not just go on Reddit and ask people on Reddit for advice. Someone please help me. Well, I'm trying to help you, mate. And unfortunately, I couldn't help you before because I didn't know about any of this. And I would have told you the actual truth. I would have told you that this will just mess you up completely. You shouldn't go through with it. That would have been the wise thing to do and the healthy thing to do. But alas, you believed in the mainstream narrative, the lie that you need to go through with this in order for you to feel whole. But unfortunately, now you're suffering the consequences of your foolish decision and your foolish choice. So just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something. And just because you want to do something doesn't mean you should do it either. Just because we have the ability to have things happen or done for us or to us doesn't mean that we should actually go through with it. There's a thing called wisdom or common sense being attached to it. This person said that they wanted the surgery all their life, and then the moment they got it, boom, problems, instant regret. What do I do now? And I cannot believe they want to do this kind of stuff on young kids. They did this to Jazz Jennings, I'll have you know. Poor Jazz Jennings had to go through stuff like this. The Reimer twins, one of them had to go through this. It's just butchery and it's just madness. They're continuing to do it. And why are doctors going, yeah, sure, we'll do that. This is healthy medicine. And you have actual doctors that are supportive of this and saying we need to do this. If the person wants it, we must give it to them. If you're a doctor, you should know better. You should know this isn't healthy or right or safe or effective. Just because a person wants to have it done to them doesn't mean they should have it done to them. What kind of doctor does that make you? if you're allowing a person to go through irreversible surgery that you know for a fact isn't going to benefit them one bit, just because they've told you, oh, I want this, so therefore, as a doctor, you must give it to them. No, you don't. You say no. But it's the whole gender affirming care narrative, isn't it? Give it to them. Anyway, I thought this was really sad and disappointing. And I do in some way feel for this individual, but they made their bed. Now they got to lie in it. It's a sad thing about it, but it doesn't stop me from trying to warn other people from going through this kind of stuff. Look at Scott Nugent as well, with her story. She had the opposite, phalloplasty. Now she's suffering the consequences because of it. Daily consequences. Just horrific. Anyway, my friends, I hope you guys take care. You be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.